All right, so this is for Aquarius. What makes um, to understand Aquarius as a whole, or all the components that make up Aquarius. So Aquarius is born out of the 11th house, which is why it's the 11th zodiac sign out of the 12. So the 11th house represents teams, partnerships, friendship, and shit like that. Technology and the future, being eccentric and original, uh, like a rebellious spirit, you know, humanitarian, and I'll I'll further explain that it's ruling planets being Saturn and Uranus. So it would bring specific focus onto Saturn being reality, boundaries and restrictions, and Uranus, individuality and one's own individual purpose. So they find their own individual way of going or dealing about reality. You know what's around them. They have their own individual way of acting and thinking about their reality, or reality as a whole. And because of that, that's how you get the futuristic type energy. That's how you get that forward thinking type energy. And you can look at well, I'll further explain that. But so it doesn't have any exaltations, but its opposition is the sun. So I guess like an opposition when there's an opposition within a sign, it doesn't mean that the energy isn't there or that it's not present. It just means that it brings more focus to that specific energy because it has to work harder. It opposes, or it's opposed when it's within that sign. So it has to dip into its bag for it to get the job done. It has to use whatever tools it has for it to be able to be itself within that sign. So it brings special focus to the attributes of that planet. And the planet that is opposed in here is Sun, which is attention and what you perceive and your individuality or your sense of self. Because when you're looking at or when you're dealing with Saturn and Uranus, which kind of sounds weird because Uranus is more like individuality or how you fit in that, but may not be paying attention to everything. It's probably harder for them to see things how other people see them because they're stuck on their own way of looking at reality instead of seeing, because the sun is exposed to all, you know, the sun shines light on all. But when your focus is on individual role within reality, you don't get to see the grander spectrum of things. And then what falls here? Pluto falls here. So Pluto's the planet of changes and transformation. It being fallen here doesn't mean that it's not present. Once again, it means that when a planet is fallen, it means that it's unaware of itself. So it's kind of like it's sleeping. It can be overexcited. It can be just be chilling. It could be in utter chaos. You just wouldn't know, or um, that's the area of darkness within the Aquarius's life, or it doesn't notice these things, the things that are coming to transform it and change it. It doesn't look at these things, and it being its element is air, and its modality is fixed. So it's fixed air, which makes sense for the sign and what I explained, but I'll explain it more. It being so, there's three states an element can be in. It can be cardinal, mun- cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Just like how in science, matter can be in three states, or take shape, form of three states, gas, solid, and liquid. So a fixed sign would be solid, but and the element being air. Air is thinking and communicating, yeah, thinking and communicating and relating to things. That's what air is. So being fixed, air, meaning that you're fixated on your own way of thinking and communicating and being about things. This is where you'll get, or why people call Aquarius is eccentric, because they have their own way of viewing reality, their own way of going about it, and they're kind of stuck in it. You know, having uh, being stuck in a thought bubble. But this plays out in many different ways. On the positive side, you'll be original. You're pioneering, or you won't stand for social justices. People coming at you for just for the way that you are, and shit like that. You'll really get that opposing energy and that very inventive spirit too, and why they will be future based, because they're up in their own space, they're floating around within their own air bubble, so they're not really dealing with what everybody else is dealing with, or what everybody else is talking about, or what everybody else is consumed by. They're consumed by their own things, and these are the things that they think about, and these are the things that they battle with, or the things that propel them. On the negative side, this can be stubborn. They don't hard to talk to or hard to relate to if you're not dealing with what they got within their air bubble, because it's air bubble, and if you're looking at air as thinking, communicating, relating, what's outside of that air bubble is not going to be able to get in, so that can make it hard uh, to relate sometimes. And this is what kind of separates Aquarius from other air signs like Libra and Gemini, because Libra and Gemini can really shoot the shit about anything, or it's likely that you'll see them shoot the shit about anything. Aquarius is a little different because they have their own way of dealing about things. Not everybody can get down with that. But like with Aquarius, somehow they'll make it known, like you'll know, oh, that person's just like that, be that one crazy person at work that like you just let them say shit, or they have that those crazy opinions for everything, and you just let them do them because you understand, that's just how they are, or they're just that kind of person. That's Aquarius energy, or that's Aquarius at play. And with it being in the 11th house, talking about humanitarianism, friendship, and teams, and shit like that, for a team to prosper, you have to be within the same page, right? You guys have to be talking, communicating about the same things. So you have to be within the same air bubble, because of your experiences of what you dwell on, and when you think um, the people coming opposing you and doing things that you don't like, it makes you understand that, and when you see that in someone else, or somebody else is being stopped from thinking the way they think, that would agitate you, because you understand where that's coming from due to that type of mentality, due to the mentality of being, understanding what it's like to be within that, and people not relating to that, not resonating with that. That's where it leads to that humanitarian, energy. And so outside of that air bubble, there may be some friction, or lack of blending in, but once you resonate with them, um, they'll let you in. It's very, very, they're very welcoming. Like back against the world. Me and you against the world kind of energy, or that's how it ends up playing out. But yeah, that's Aquarius in a nutshell. The things that make up Aquarius, or the attributes of Aquarius. Yeah.